Hi, good to have you with us on Cable Talk, and for the next 2 days, some exciting stuff. Lots of show and tell stuff with Michael Sottosanti, and he's a primitive technologist, teaches primitive living skills and survival, and we'll be back with Michael and all his neat stuff right after this. Thanks for joining us on Cable Talk. I'm Barry Lee. This is Michael Sottosanti, and the official title is Teacher of Primitive Living Skills. And Michael, a pleasure to have you with us on Cable Talk. When we talk about primitive technologies, primitive living skills, let's just sort of define that just as a base, and then we'll just go from there.
Well, it's the technologies utilized by primitive cultures, such as how to make glue, epoxies, tools, bow and arrows, anything that involved manufacturing.
Okay.
But it really covers the whole spectrum of how they utilize plants, how they made string.
Nothing was wasted. Everything was used. How did you get interested in this kind of stuff, Michael?
A fascination with how an Indian could go in the woods with nothing and meet all his physical needs. And in the process of learning this stuff, I found that most of the Native American stuff was superior to a lot of the things that are available today. They made incredibly strong glues. I read in one place that the settlers would buy string from the Indians because it was so much better than what they could buy from Europe. And the clothing I'm wearing, the material is deerskin, tanned the way they tanned it, and there is no fabric superior in just about every way. It breathes, so it's not too hot, yet it cuts wind. It's machine washable, very soft, and the thorns won't go through it, which is very nice.
Yeah.
But when you're out in the woods, it's very quiet. A lot of modern clothing makes a lot of noise if you're trying to sneak through the woods. And just recently I was attacked by a bunch of yellow jackets, and they couldn't even sting me through it. So
Man, so this is the all-round fabric. This
is the ultimate fabric.
And this is, and you were saying deer hide prepared the way the Indians did it, which what was the key there?
And that is important. What they call factory tanner. If you had a deer hide and sent it off, the product would be a completely different product than what I'm wearing.
Okay.
The first thing they would do is, this is a deer leg bone from this area,
okay.
And they would channel it out and sharpen these two edges.
Okay.
They would take over a smooth log, and they would lay it out, and the log would be kind of like this, and they'd lean against it and work like this away from them and clean all the flesh and the fat off. Then there were many methods, but I'll describe the way I do it, because different tribes had a lot of different ways of accomplishing the same task. I take and put it in a mixture of wood ash and water and soak it until when you grab a clump of hair and pull on it, it comes free easily.
Okay.
And they call that that the hair is slipping then. Then at that point the hide is put back on the beam, hair side up, and scraped again, removing not only the hair. The reason this is not really hot is because not only do I remove the hair, but I remove the epidermis layer. The epidermis layer is a waterproof layer, and so if I left that on, I would probably be miserably hot right now.
Okay. So
to clean it off, and then you take the animal's brain, and what I do is make a solution and soak the hide in a mixture of water and brains, and soak it, roll it, and wring it to try to work it deeper into the hide, and do that about 3 times over 6 to 8 hours. Then, once the brains are thoroughly worked into the hide, it's a matter of stretching it one way and then the other. The hide is full of an extremely strong glue, and some combination of the brains and this stretching in all directions keeps the fiber in the hide from locking up tight again, which is why rawhide is so stiff, is that glue cements it together and makes it stiff. And with the brains, it doesn't lock up, and so as it dries, it starts to fluff up, becoming a very nice, soft, durable leather.
Wow! Oh my gosh, that is so soft. That's unreal.
It is, it's in a class by itself, I think. Once you've worked it soft, and this is, a lot of tribes, and maybe all tribes, would use this white leather for wedding garments and things like that. But for a more durable product, the next thing they would do is they would take and smoke it. And that's why most deerskin that you see is this color, because they dye it to make it look like it was made the way the Indians did.
Okay.
But this is the color from the smoke. And the smoke is what makes it machine washable. If I washed this, it would turn back into rawhide. If I washed this, it stays fairly soft and supple. You still need to stretch it just a little bit when it's almost dry, or it'll be kind of stiff. But you can, even when if it dries and you haven't stretched it at all, you can work it soft pretty quickly by just stretching it a little bit.
And it smells good. I mean, it does. It has a good.
Yeah, it's a nice smoky aroma, and it repels pest. Apparently, I haven't had a problem with it, but I've heard that an unsmoked hide, that the same kind of moths that like wool sweaters will eat it up. And with the smoke, nothing. It's protected from pests, bacteria. It's
unreal.
And then that's the same reason why they would smoke a lot of their food, is that the smoke helps preserve it and keep parasites out of it.
You were talking about